Hello, hello, hello. My name is Dr. King Costa. I greet you from Johannesburg, Little Falls. You might be watching this segment wherever you are. But today I want to talk to you about the theory of the mind and how it affects goal setting, how it affects our goals. Have you wondered that you come up with goals but you are never able to achieve them? Or you come up with resolutions and you are never able to actually meet those resolutions? Every beginning of the year, people make resolutions and say, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to go to school this year, I'm going to save a certain amount of money for my holiday, I'm going to do this and that and that, I'm going to stop smoking. But just a few days or a few months from the time you make these goals, you already are failing and finding it hard to keep to them. Have you ever wondered what makes it possible for other people to stick to them while you can't? Well, today I am going to show you how your mind has got a role in affecting the way we come up with our goals and how you can beat that. So the first part of the presentation will look at the mind itself and how it functions, what I call theory of the mind, or TOM or TOM. And then the next part will be how to come up with effective goals. Or how do we use neuroscience of coaching to come up with effective goals? By the way, I should have told you that I'm an executive coach, so every day I spend my life helping people achieve the best results in what they do. So I hope this segment will be able to help you. Right, let's assume or let's look at how the mind works. By the way, the mind is a philosophical matter or a concept. It's not something that you can take a person to a hospital and put them under scans and start to check the mind. But the mind operates within the regions of the brain. Right, the brain is about a biological matter of what you're talking about. The brain can be taught. It's like a biocomputer, a computer of your own body. You teach your brain what to do and it will deliver the results. And you teach your mind through your brain and it will help shape the better thoughts, the kind of thoughts that you want, that will attract the results that you are looking for. It does not help to come up with goals if you are not connected to these goals and if you are not also committed to the goals. But when you just say them and there is no committed, they are just good things to have or desirable things. But let's see the effects of the mind. How does the mind work? If you look at the circle that I've drawn as part of your mind, when we are born as babies, we come up with a primitive mind. And this section represents what I call a primitive mind. The primitive mind comes with two responses, and it is a fight response or a flight response. These are inherent responses that we are brought up with, that we are born with. A fight response is that kind of a response that makes you want to deal with the situation and fight it and eliminate it, because these are threatening responses to yourself, so you want to eliminate it and get rid of it. Usually when you are unable to eliminate the situation, if you are not able to come out of the situation, you become anxious, you develop anxiety because you want to deal with this thing, but you are not capable of dealing with it. Like your struggle with weight loss, like your struggle with your budgeting, for instance, like your struggle with keeping up to good health, or your struggle with maintaining healthy relationships with your partners or your business people or your team players. This makes you to feel anxious and you develop anxiety, and you want to get out of a situation, you want to get out of your marriage, you want to get out of your employment, you want to just get out of the situation, but the dictates that are current, the current reality does not allow you to get out. So what you do, you develop depression. Not really clinical depression, but some kind of being depressed because you're not able to get out. You want to come out of the situation, but you are not able to go there. So these would generally affect your life, they will affect your health, and make you unable to achieve the dreams and the goals that you set for yourself. But then let's take it further. What are other elements? What are other contributing factors to our goals besides the primitive mind, which might be latent? And what becomes much more effective is a big region of our mind called the subconscious mind. Subconscious. This region constitutes about 88% of our mind. And this works because it stores responses from when you were a child, from when you were a baby, coming up with these natural responses, and then you had ways of dealing with what you see, what you learn. Okay, that's why when we deal with an adult today, they will be saying, this is not what we were taught when we were kids. You are what you are before because of what you were taught. The tradition and cultural interpretations to you today, even religious, are based on how you were brought up. That's why when you talk, we say, this is not how we were brought up. That's exactly what culture is. It's based on how you saw things. Now, if you're a child and you grew up in a loving environment, so you'll have a whole lot of positive thoughts because you know goodness, you see goodness in people, you see goodness in yourself, you see goodness in an environment. So you are outgoing personality because of how you were brought up. You were told you are brilliant, you were told you are beautiful, you were told you are smart. So everything was told when you were young, and you become that when you are old. But if you are young and you grew up in a non-loving environment where everything was negative, where you were abused emotionally, psychologically, or physically, and even sexually sometimes, you grow up with a whole lot of negative responses towards life. They are all embedded in you because when you see people, if the loved ones that you grew up with, you know love as a negative thing because this is how you learned it. This is how they showed it to you when you were growing up. You're learning. Hence, I always say to people, a child who is between 1 and 10 years, particularly up to 6 years, those are critical ages of development. Those are critical ages of learning what life is. What you are when you are a baby and a toddler is what you're going to be when you are an adult. Unless an intervention of this nature is exposed to you, then you have to change your thinking. But otherwise, your thinking becomes what you saw when you were a baby. If you did not get love from home, you never know love. If you got rejection from home, you grow up with rejection all the time. And interestingly is that when you are rejected, you will also reject those that are trying to welcome you because there is no trust in your subconscious mind. There is a storage of a lot of negative things. And this program tries to turn all these negatives, that you must make them to be positive, that you may lead a more balanced life, because you are able now to convert everything that was negative to be positive. Everybody who is born and has got a certain goodness. You are a unique individual, and there is some value proposition that you have that the entire universe is waiting for. But because of the background, you are not able to actually showcase it. Why do you think other people, for instance, have got no self-confidence, have got a low self-esteem, while others have? It's purely because of this in their subconscious mind, which controls them, which makes them make decisions. The storage is more of the negatives than the positive. So they make negative decisions about life. They make negative decisions about other people. They make negative decisions about their environment and negative decisions about their relationships and even their children, family, and their fellow employees and colleagues or their companies, even about the nation that they are in. Because what is in there is no good. You are told you are no good, you amount to nothing, so life is a no good thing. But when we help you with our program, you start to change that and see the goodness. And in the next segment, I'll show you how. But I want to come up to the upper part. Right in this region, there's a small thin line that I've just drawn. Okay, this is a line, or what I can call a filter. This is a filter that will try to send positive messages through your conscious mind, which constitutes 12%. We try to send positive messages through your logic, through certain assessments that you take about your personality that will show your logic, through your decision making. This is where your awareness is. This is where what you're aware of starts from here. So we need to be converting that and try to filter it through into here, so that as we filter it, the negatives become positives. As you can see when I draw the line, when it goes down, the negative becomes a positive. All the negatives becomes a positive. This is what the program tries to help you to achieve your goals. Right? I hope you've got that. In this presentation, when we do a one-on-one or a group counseling program or group coaching program, we are able to take you to help you to achieve your dream. Now, when we come to goals, once we've done that, this is what you need to realize. We've always heard that goals have to be smart. And I do believe you understand what smart is. If you don't, then we will deal with it when we meet with you on a live platform. But we've always been told to come up with smart dreams, okay, and smart goals. But goals, coming up with them, they need to affect your thinking. If